Alright, hello, fellow people. So, you haven't seen me in a very long time, or at least hear my voice doing one of these reviews in a while, which, I mean, unlucky. So, we're going to talk about my thoughts on the Beasts of Bermuda versus the Isle. Now, the olden days of the Isle, they used to be great. Now, I'm feeling a little more iffy with how I feel about the Isle. I feel like it's kind of more overloved, I guess. It's just stupid. Like, it's not very interesting to me anymore. In the early days when Apatosaurus was just added, is where I thought the game was pretty great. Diabloceratops, again, it was still in the great era. But as it became more complex and unnecessarily, I guess, difficult to understand, I thought that was pretty much, it's done. It's pretty much killing itself. There's nothing else to it. So, I'm gonna try to organize this video as much as possible. So we're gonna start with devs. Between the Isle and Beasts of Bermuda. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't really have much discussion with the developers that much, but from what I observe, they are much more a respectable group of people. They don't necessarily say, "You're fucking stupid, kill yourself." Now, with the Isle, you hear this dev argument come up a lot, but you have to admit, it's true. Like it or not, fucking unlucky. The devs are assholes. Not straight to the point, they are fucking assholes. Now, sometimes here and there, they do have those moments where they're just respectable. They are nice, calm people. But usually, if they say, "Oh yeah, you're asking these questions that have been asked already, like several million times," instead of saying, "Oh yeah," just giving you just a general answer, respectably, and moving on, they just call you stupid or whatever, and they ban you for stupid things like, "Oh, you said I'm bad at For Honor. Lol. Get banned from Twitch. Hope you enjoyed." Or talk about something that's more of a conspiracy theory, like Magna being a Primal Carnage Rex inspiration, where it is. Okay. I'm pretty sure at one point you said, "Oh, lol, Primal Carnage, probably." Then you said, out of nowhere, later on, "Oh yeah, it was never part of the Primal Carnage thing." Which, I mean, it's kind of our fault for assuming, but I mean, you could have executed it a little better than you did. Alright, I feel like the sounds are kind of overvaluing everything else. Global volume, let's just turn that at alright, that's a little better. Now, so there's the dev argument done. I feel like the point for the dev, okay, I don't know why I'm lagging. Was in frames for some reason. So I feel like the point goes to the Beasts of Bermuda, for being respectable human beings. So far, I haven't seen anything else, so take it with a grain of salt. Going on to textures. Now, the Beasts of Bermuda, they aren't necessarily appealing to look at. You got some glitches up there. Of course, everything needs to be worked on, and all that. Everything needs to be polished here and there. Textures, they're not the best. Let's admit it. It's not the best. Some textures, like some dinosaurs, their scales and feathers, they look really great. They look good. And a brief touch, accuracy with the lips for the T-Rex, again, pretty good. But enough with accuracy. Let's fucking focus on the game instead of accuracy. Oh, it's inaccurate. It's fucking bad. And Dondi says a lot of things that he thinks he's being accurate about when he's not, but I need to focus on textures. The Isle has more of a appeal, more of a, how would I put this? More of a satisfying look to them, like shading and all that. Of course, they are very overblown a bit, but dinosaurs in the Isle look relatively pleasing. Sounds of the Isle, again, a little pleasing. Some of them are pretty shitty, some of them are pretty good. Same thing with Beasts of Bermuda. So I feel like Beasts of Bermuda gets a half, while the Isle gets the general point. But in textures, mainly the Isle gets the point. Mechanics. Now, the Isle makes several promises, like corpse dragging, or buffing around nests, which I found pretty fucking stupid, but who cares? No, obviously I care, I brought it up. Mechanics. The Isle makes a lot of promises. They said they will add swimming and aquatics and flyers and all that. They said they'll work on a slowdown or a land for the Quets. Still haven't seen it. No news on that, to my knowledge. What else? There's gonna be, you know, dinosaur riding and all that, and hooks on their mouths and shit like that for the tribals. So it's relatively slow development for the Isle. With Beasts of Bermuda, I'm not gonna say, oh lol, their mechanics are literally the best and all that, because they're not. Some of them are pretty janky, but Beasts of Bermuda filled a lot of the promises that the Isle has yet achieved. Like, there are floods, there are tornadoes, which I guess go in the environment category, but I guess fair enough mechanic. Just natural disasters, and this is another promise that the Isle made, but has yet made, or I mean, has added to the game. As you drink water, it will slowly decay and run out. The B.O.B., I'll fucking call it Bob to cut things short. It just kind of gave more... Yeah. I'm fucking saying shit on my ass. Alright. So... Of course, there are some things that the Isle did, like nests and growth, but I feel like it's more of yeah, they pretty much already did it. This game, if you played this game before, they do have it. It's life cycle, the game mode. So I feel like it gets Bob gets the point, just because they have more quantity. Of course, they need to work on what the fuck? They need to work on the quality of things. So they'll be working on that. Now, I guess we'll work on, kind of go back to the skins, or I mean the textures, skins wise. Now, from what I saw from the dev streams, briefly. I only saw an nth's video because that's literally the only relevant thing involving the Isle at this point, or that brings my care into some consideration. I feel like the Isle, don't get me wrong, I don't know how the skins will work, if they are necessarily going to be like the ones on stream, but the ones from on stream, my observations, I feel like they are kind of okay. I mean, this with Beasts of Bermuda, not saying like, oh lol, let's have neon colors, because not a lot of people have neon colors. I just made this to have an example, and I kind of find it visually appealing to an extent. Beasts of Bermuda allows more creative freedom with how you make your skins, which the Isle, from what I see, doesn't really allow that much. They did have one Carno skin a long time ago that was black and red. Same thing with the Rex, but it was just blue, kind of straight across the board, just with a blue stripe. With Beasts of Bermuda, you could either have like some tame colors on the general body and have like a stripe that is just shiny, like the one I have right now. There are several skins I have that are just kind of more tame, more appealing. I just mainly have skins of having black with red kind of attached to them, like with my Mosasaurus. Which kind of gets into the next subject, animals. Now, straight up, the Isle wins in quantity-wise, not necessarily mechanical. With these dinosaurs, though, in Beasts of Bermuda, they have special traits. I'm not too sure on what the Megalosaurus does. Oh, no, never mind, I know. It just kind of gives, if you press Q, the ability key on something, it will allow you to like kind of increase your damage output on said creature. With Acrocanthosaurus, it's more of an intimidate to lower, I think, defenses of other dinosaurs. And on the Discord, people give several ideas for other dinosaurs, like Spinosaurus being a healing tank or a support class or whatever. I hate to think of this game as Overwatch or something, but let's just use that as an example. And other dinosaurs, animals, unlike Mosasaurus, Kronosaurus, not yet, but Elasmosaurus, Pteranodon, we got Aquatics and flyers, or a flyer, not plural, in the game. Let's start with the flyer. When you press E, you can slow down or decelerate speed to land without killing yourself. Well, of course, if you don't do that, you crash to the ground and break all your bones and die. Big oof. With the Aquatics, they got a little speed boost. With the Kronosaurus, you can kind of stay in place, kind of like a Bastion or something from Overwatch, and kind of increase power, and then kind of let go and go for an attack that does damage, which I think it just pushes the enemies back a little bit. Which there's that. Now with Mosasaurus, it just gives like a little speed boost to catch anything in water. So there is that. Now we got two land animals that are also semi-aquatic, like Ichthyovenator and also Lurdiosaurus. I'm not too sure if I said the Ludiosaurus name right, but bear with me. Both of those are aquatics and kind of allows different diets. So, and also you might be noticing, oh, what's happening? I'm going up a slope, which now the Isle's just catching on to doing. And I'm not too sure if they're going to do it or not, but your speed decreases as you go up a hill. Not only that, but eating for animals. If you overeat, you will become a fat dino eventually. If you pay attention to my Rex, you will notice I get more fat as I eat. And this allows you to become slower and less happy to run. Yep, you just saw me kind of blow up a little bit. Yep, there I go again. Increases your size a bit and you can't run anymore. So overeating allows you to become fat and you can't run, just like in real life. Oh, I just blew up again. Yep, so I am a fat Rex. Now I could run a little bit, not too much, but I'm relatively slow and I run out of stamina pretty quickly. So there is that. So the Isle has not had that ever. Now, besides overeating and becoming a fat fuck, you could pick up corpses, which I don't think the Isle has that. It's kind of weird. But you could grab corpses. You could grab bones if they are bigger corpses like the one behind that rock. Whatever. So, what the fuck? Drinking, please. Now, what else? Alright, for Apatosaurus, you can press control to go backwards. And also it does work with tail swiping, which I think it's a right click. And with that right click, you can aim in a certain direction. Say you want to, if there's something on the right of you, you can hold. Fuck, I think it's better to if I bring out my Apatosaurus to show you actually. Alright, some of these skins are Terraria inspired. Let's just use this cancer color. Let's use a bee. So here's control. So here's, okay, there's something on my right side. Let go. Oh, look at that. It's like Beasts of Bermuda has a straight leg in making sauropods work. And press E to eat things around you and all of that. So there, that's a thing. Now, of course, some people, if you want to express your creative side and you like dinosaur games, this is probably the game for you. Unless you don't really care about being artistic with your skins, you could stay with the Isle a bit if you want. Now, what else? Alright, swimming. Alright, there's currents in this game, and it kind of slows your character down. Let me just switch my Megalosaurus to show this. Here's my bee skin. Oh god, I don't know why I'm lagging and it hurts. So there's a current right here, and it will over time take you to wherever it's taking you. So, and some animals like Mosasaurus can launch itself out of the water and grab something. I think it's by pressing Z. So let's just go to the Aquatics. Let's just have my... So it's relatively simple to play this. You can launch yourself out of water if you want, and also there's an air mechanic right here. What else do I want to bring up? Special abilities. I already brought that up, so I guess I didn't really pay attention to the point system very often. I feel like I kind of fucked this review a bit too much, but the general aspect is I prefer Beasts of Bermuda over the Isle because the devs on the Isle are assholes. They are very slow on making things happen in their game. That pretty much wraps things up, and they just have cooler things to look at. It feels like a new experience when you just first get the game, the Isle, when it is in, like, during the release of Apatosaurus. This is what this game feels like, Beasts of Bermuda. It's nice, it's kind of like, you don't have to worry about over having complicity, but of course there are things in this game that are kind of, hard to understand, like the talent points, which kind of helps you increase your power or whatever that. So you could just screw around a little bit. Comfort levels and health. I'm not too sure on how the health thing works down here. Like, I notice I just decrease in health as when I'm full health or full hunger and thirst, which kind of confuses me a bit. So there is some complex mechanics going on in this game, which I think is just kind of like you have to rest and all that. Speaking of resting, this game has resting in it that the Isle doesn't really have. And if you say otherwise, you're... Let me explain myself before you call me stupid. Like the majority of the Isle community. And community-wise, the Isle is more toxic. So you can rest like this, but you can press R, and this helps your health increase a lot faster, and all that, and it's kind of interesting. And you just have to walk out of it to get out of it. You don't have to press H or the rest mechanic button again. So it's kind of a little easier to work with. Some animals have jumping. T-Rex has jumping, but a very, very weak one. It doesn't overly jump. So Megalosaurus has a little jump as well, which kind of shows that they're not heavy as people might think, considering they do have hollow bones. Of course, Apatosaurus can't jump because it's fucking big. And skins. With this game, it allows you to have a little more of a... oh god, English is not a strong suit. It allows more creative freedom, instead of the Isle, which... We'll see when the skin, or customizable skins come out. But I'm not gonna get too much into customization. So... Of course, this game does need some polishing, of course. But... And corpses. Their value becomes a little weaker and intoxicates your food bar. You might see eventually that... Or for carnivores, that is. The meat yeah, with my fish, you can see it gets a little more brown and more fucking disgusting looking. Sounds are average. They're not too great, they're not too bad. They're pretty average. And I think the rotten thing does decrease your health. Weather again, lightning strikes will happen, and trust me, I died twice to a lightning strike, and it fucking triggers me. Oof. Yeah. And camouflage. I didn't fucking see that guy coming. So, this, and also there's multiple modes, so there won't be any sort of work. If you want to play through the life cycle, there's like 40 players on several servers, so it's fine. With the Isle, I feel like they have a lot more I guess, a lot more money. One could say has a lot more. Yeah, it has a lot more funds going for the Isle than Beasts of Bermuda. But yeah, you could grab shit if you want to. So you could take it to your young. And you might see some cancer skins that I have, but they represent, like, Treya bosses. The majority of them do. Let me show you the slowdown mechanic. Of course it's lagging right now, but because I changed the settings. So, there is that. Let me slow down. Yep, I landed a little too hard, buddy. Okay. And this, you can see that my game is bugging a little bit. So, of course, there are bugs in this game. Okay, I want to die, actually. Yeah, I don't think I could die. Jesus Christ, I'm gonna kill myself. But of course, there's a lot of polishing that needs to be done for this game. But overall, I am relatively happy with this game and how it turned out. It allows creative freedom. I'm not gonna say all of my points over and over again, but I prefer the Beasts of Bermuda over the Isle for the reasons I have given. Now, of course, it is an opinion video. It's not necessarily a facts, but I just give what there is in this game and compare it to the Isle. So, if you have a conflicting opinion of yours, please leave it down in the comments. If you have the same idea, again, if you have any other opinions, please leave it down below. It's kind of neat, even though I won't read them. Lol. I just want you to waste your time. Of course, I'm just fucking with you guys. But I will thank you for your support, and yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.